Alright, you ready for the world's worst tutorial on Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show? Alright, a few things to get down first in case any of these things present a struggle for you. You're going to want your guitar tuned to concert pitch A440. So that's, Easter Bunny gets drunk after Easter, your typical beginning guitar tuning. Then you're going to want to capo or capo the second fret. Okay, so if you don't have a little gizmo that bars chords for you, you're going to want to get one, okay? Otherwise this won't sound quite right. You'll be able to play the same chords, they'll just be in the wrong key. Okay? And it's a lower key if you don't capo the second fret. So that could even make it easier to sing, but sounds to me like the key of A, I guess. So should be a pretty singable key for you, okay? So then the second thing to note is that if you're just wanting to sing along, probably the best thing to do is to strum the song. And that's going to sound a little bit like this. Okay, that's just like a very beginner campfire thing to do, and it allows you to sing along pretty easily. It can take some practice to sing and play at the same time, but a lot of this melody lands on the chord changes. Bit of advice for choosing a guitar pick for strumming: you're going to want to make sure that it's pretty bendy. Okay, that's going to allow the pick to give way as it's passing over the strings. And it's going to make the strumming just sound a little bit more smooth and pleasant. If you use a really hard pick like you would for lead guitar playing, the guitar is going to be very loud for one thing, very unforgiving, like if your fingers are in the wrong spot, and just this squishy pick. Alright, that's a pro tip when you're learning strumming patterns, especially campfire, bluegrass, banjo type of stuff. Squishy pick is good advice, okay? Alright, and so then let's talk a little bit about the chords. This song is using G chord shapes, and so you start off with what I call just an open G chord, and that's only holding down the G note on the high string, the little E string, and it's holding down the G note on the lowest string, the low E string. Okay, and since the other strings open are D, G, and B, those are already in the chord of G, and so you get those for free. Okay, so it's an open G. This is one of the easiest ways to play it. It's just 2 fingers, pinky on the little string, 5th fret, and then I usually use my ring finger to come up here and grab that bass string. Now we're not using the 5th string, which is A in this case. It just sounds like that. But if you want to throw that string in there, you just drop probably your index finger. And that just puts an extra 1/3 of the chord in for you, okay? But you can even play G like this with your thumb on top and your 1 finger on the bottom. Alright, but yeah, just pinky and ring finger ought to do it, because that sets your hand up nicely to play the next chord, which is D. So you could actually just pivot. You could just pivot down there on your pinky, get those other 3 fingers in place, and that D chord, it's that classic D shape. It just looks like you're making a little cup. And yeah, so transitioning from that open G shape to the open D shape. It's an open D because it has the bass note here, the D, and even the A here if you play it. Those are both in the D chord, and so you get those for free. Okay? And you're going to have to look up the chord shapes on your own if you're not quite familiar with them yet. All right, and so then the first pass through of the chord sequence, they go to an E minor, which is the relative minor of G. So it sounds almost the same as just going back to G. Instead, you're going like this. Okay, it's just one note difference between it and G. So they sound awfully similar. And then in the first pass through, you're going to finish up this 4-chord sequence on C. And again, it's an open C, and it's open because you're getting this high E, and you're getting this G for free, okay? And you're holding down the C at the 3rd fret, and then you're holding down the E. I'm kind of interchanging like the capo language and the original language, like if the capo wasn't there, okay? So it's a C shape, so I'm calling it a C chord, but because it's capoed at the 2nd fret, it's actually a D, but I'm just going to use the C chord names, okay? So you're holding down C, E, and C yourself, and you're getting G and E for free. All right, so that's why we call open chords if they have any open strings, okay? And they're easier to play because you're not barring like the whole guitar. Which barring is also totally legit, okay? All right, so first run through, we're gonna go G to D, and then E minor to C. And then the second run through, pretty much throughout the whole song, you're gonna go G to D, and then straight to C. And instead of playing E minor C, hey, I'm trying to explain a song for someone on video. Say hi. Say hi and then go. Okay. All right, let me continue my lesson.
You can't see them.
Ronan, I'm recording this and I'm going to play it for them later. Thanks, baby. All right, and so then the second time through, you're going to go G, D, and then straight to C. And then because you're skipping E minor, you're going to play C an extra bar, okay? So again, that chord sequence just sounds like this. Extra bar here. Made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking myself through some dogwood flowers, hoping for Raleigh to see my baby tonight. So rock me mama like a wagon wheel, rock me mama any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me mama like the wind and rain, rock me mama like a southbound train. And hey, mama, rock me. And of course, if you want to get into picking or any kind of like banjo feel a little bit later on, there are other chords available, like as you go up the neck a little bit. So there are different chord shapes, but I would concentrate on the open shapes that are down near the capo or the nut, and they're going to give you the easiest strumming pattern, and again, squishy pick. And then for picking, you can either choose like a combination of a pick and your fingers, or I usually just go straight to fingers. Alright, so that was the world's worst lesson for Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show. I hope that helps, and oh no. I guess the only thing left to say is thanks for watching if you did. Alright, bye.